In this video, we'll rank the top 6 ERP solutions transforming SME business across India. For an SME, ERP is a very critical tool which is required to grow and scale the business to the next level, and discover which ERP systems are leading the way in India's dynamic landscape. Hi there, my name is Raman and I'm from a company called ERP Doctor. In my experience of working with more than 1,000 plus companies in implementing multiple ERP systems, I've come across various requirements and various ERP solutions. And with those experience, I'm going to rank top 6 ERPs available in India on specific parameters. At the end of this video, you will be able to see which ERP system is best and how are they ranked. Now, we have considered 5 ERP solutions for the ranking. Number 1 is Tally ERP 9 from Tally. Number 2 is SAP Business One from the staple of SAP. And number 3 is Infor. Number 4 is Odoo. Number 5 is Microsoft Dynamics 365 from Microsoft. Now that we have these 5 ERP solutions in one hand, on the other hand, we are going to consider 6 parameters against which each of these ERP solutions will be ranked. And those parameters are: number 1, market reach; number 2, ecosystem and support; number 3, scalability of the ERP solution; number 4, compliance and localization; number 5 is cost; and lastly, number 6 is stability of the company which provides these solutions. Now, I've deliberately excluded features and functionalities of an ERP solution as one of the parameters because in my experience of working with more than 1,000 plus companies and handling multiple ERP solutions, this is my observation. There are very little differences in the features and functionalities when compared to one ERP solution to other ERP solution. The ERP solutions available in the market have benchmarked each other, have extensively worked for the customer requirements, that they have reached a point where if you see the features and functionalities available across all the ERP solutions, they are almost 90 to 95% one and the same. Most of the features and functions are universally available across all the ERP solutions. And so it will be unfair and unjust on my part if I use features and functionalities to rank the ERP solutions. So I'm not going to do it. So let us consider the first parameter, which is market reach. When it comes to market reach, Tally ERP 9 is a very strong and dominant player in the Indian market. It has got a significant presence in the country, catering to a vast number of small and medium businesses. The localization is heavily focused for the Indian market, and the features in Tally ERP 9 are tailored to meet the specific compliance requirements of Indian businesses, particularly accounting and GST. While it's very popular in India, we will also have to mention that it is not so very popular outside the Indian boundary. It's only for the Indian mid and small businesses who basically carry the software outside the country where they operate and they are using it. So we'll score a 5 for Tally ERP 9 for doing a great job in market reach. Now, looking at SAP Business One, they have a significant global presence and is used to over 150 plus countries with almost 40 plus localization, catering to the successful deployment of SAP Business One in this 150 plus countries. This makes it a widely recognized ERP solution with a strong international footprint. It also caters to various industries like manufacturing, trading and distribution, project management, services, and hence it has a very successful rate of adoption across many industries. So this has been a significant reason which has led it to penetrate deep into many markets globally. It definitely has a very large customer base, but when it comes to India, SAP Business One doesn't have the kind of penetration and customer base that Tally has got. And so we will score it a little bit lesser than Tally. So we will score it at 3. Now looking at Infor is also very similar to SAP Business One. It has a global presence, serving customers across 150 plus countries, and they have solutions for niche industries like aerospace, healthcare, oil and gas, and more, because of which they have found extensive penetration. Infor makes sure that they serve a wide range of market, starting from small and medium to large enterprises, thus ensuring that they have a wide customer base globally. But when it comes to India, they haven't penetrated as much as what Tally has done or SAP Business One has done. They have a long way to go when it comes to market penetration and market reach in India. So we'll put Infor at 3 because even though they have a huge global presence, but they have a long way to go considering the Indian market. Odoo, unlike SAP Business One, Tally ERP 9 or Infor, is an open source ERP solution. So it has a very broad global user base with thousands of business globally adopting it for its flexibility and ease to customize. Odoo in very recent time has been becoming very popular in Europe, North America and most of the emerging markets. It has also got a very strong community of developers and partners globally who help to expand its reach and provide localized support. Having said all that about Odoo, Odoo is still a very nascent and a fledgling when it is considered for India. It has got a long way to go, but a very promising candidate which can penetrate the market because of its open source nature. So as of now, we will score Odoo at 1. Microsoft Dynamics 365, which is a Microsoft product, extensively leverages Microsoft's reach with its other product like Office 365, their mailing services, and hence is very popular, and Microsoft ensures that it takes its ERP solution wherever it goes globally, and hence there is no doubt that it is a global solution and adopted globally in many countries. Many SMEs and large companies do adopt Microsoft Dynamics 365 for their scaling up of business and growth of business. Now, irrespective about all those impressive details of Dynamics 365, it definitely has a long way to go as far as penetrating the Indian market is concerned. And so we'll score Dynamics 365 3. Now, time to see who's the winner. The clear-cut winner as far as the market reach is concerned is Tally, which is at number 1 position. In the second position, we have 3 people, SAP Business One, Infor and Microsoft Dynamics 365. And in the last position, we have Odoo. Now let's jump to the next parameter, which is ecosystem and support for an ERP. Now Tally is the local expert as far as India is concerned. Tally boasts with very huge number of authorized resellers and partners who can implement and support Tally in India. Not only that, Tally has its own community of freelancers, developers, integrators who have got into the business of implementing, supporting and integrating Tally because of its strong presence in the country. Tally by itself has a very strong help desk and support system which serves its customers very well. Apart from that, the Tally ecosystem has a lot of training partners who basically give private coaching for people who are interested in learning Tally. You will find Tally training centers all across India. Tally has done an excellent work in establishing a very strong ecosystem where you have implementation partners, support partners, training partners, freelancers, and Tally by itself is also very strong in providing support. So Tally should definitely be scored a 5 when it comes to establishing an ecosystem and a support system. SAP Business One, on the other hand, has a very large global partner network who are certified and authorized to implement, support and integrate and customize SAP Business One. SAP by itself has a very strong help desk and support mechanism. Basically, it comes from its long experience that they have from SAP S4 or ECC from their beginning days from 1970s of implementing an ERP solution and supporting it for such a long time. So they do a great job when it comes to SAP by itself supporting SAP Business One. They also have a very well-established knowledge base and a lot of communities across the globe which basically discusses issues, bug fixes, upgrade issues and many things about SAP Business One. But one aspect where SAP Business One really falls short as compared to Tally is the kind of network or resellers that Tally has got is definitely not what SAP Business One has got. There are resellers available, quite a large number, but still not as large as what Tally has got in India. So for that reason, we will score SAP Business One at a 3. Infor has an extensive global partner network available in many countries, excellent help desk and support mechanism by Infor, industry-specific expertise available. They also have a huge user communities for collaboration, but what they really lack when compared to Tally or SAP Business One is they do not have the kind of network and partners that Tally or SAP Business One has in India. So we'll score Infor at 1. Odoo, on the other hand, has a very strong open source community which contributes to the innovation and continuous improvement that Odoo faces globally today. There is a very active and strong network of developers creating custom solutions and integrations for their customers globally. A lot of online resources, communities, and collaboration platform because it's an open source which helps Odoo on its ecosystem parameter. But once again, having said all these things, Odoo too doesn't have a very strong network or channel partners or resellers in India as Tally or SAP Business One has. And so we will score it at 1. Microsoft Dynamics, as many people know, is more of an US-centric product, but still, it has done a great job in establishing a partner network across the globe. Once again, the help desk and the support mechanism established by Microsoft Dynamics is excellent, but when it comes to having a channel partner or network in India, they have not done a great job, and so we will score them at 1. So let's look who's the winner in this particular category of ecosystem and support. So Tally definitely is in number 1 position, and the second position is held by SAP Business One, and the third position is held by the rest of the players. Now let's look at the third parameter, which is a very crucial parameter for SME businesses, which is scalability. Now when it comes to scalability, Tally ERP 9 definitely has very strong limitations. Tally ERP 9, which is primarily designed for small and medium businesses, has very limited features for scaling up your business. It supports incremental upgrades such as adding users or modules, but when it comes to significantly scaling up, it lacks the required features and functions. It has got very basic level of customizations, and business which scale when require huge customizations face severe limitations with Tally as compared to other ERP solutions. So for all these reasons, we will score Tally a 1 for scalability. SAP Business One, on the other hand, is a solution which has a modular design or architecture, which means that you can start with using features and functions which are required for your business when you are small, and as and when you grow, you can add the features and functions which are primarily available within SAP Business One, or further go ahead and develop it as add-ons and keep adding the business features and functions which are required as and when you grow or scale. SAP Business One has done an excellent job when it comes to customizations. They have made sure that SAP Business One is a solution for SMEs which look for scaling up their business, because when you scale, you would require customizations and integrations, and hence they have provided special features and functions which really simplifies customization. They have also ensured that when you scale your business, you will require to process huge data, and that's why they have brought HANA database in place, which takes care of increase in number of users and increase in business sizes and transactions. So SAP Business One definitely scores a 5 when it comes to scalability. Infor is also a great solution when it comes to scalability. There hasn't been any experiences or complaints from business when they scale with Infor. Because of its cloud deployment and flexible architecture, Infor is definitely a solution which is scalable when business grows. But some of the concerns that Infor has when it comes to scalability is that it's very complex when it comes to customization. There definitely are integration challenges because Infor is a cloud deployed solutions, and there are issues with integrating with those cloud platforms. The upgrades are sometimes very resource intensive in nature. Many users globally have complained that Infor lacks the flexibility to quickly adopt the change in business processes, which draws it back in many fronts. One significant point that users have noted when it comes to Infor while scaling is the cost related to scaling. Now this is very high when compared to any of the ERP solutions that we are talking today. Now these are some of the aspects because of which Infor is scored a 3 and not a 5. When it comes to Odoo and scalability, Odoo, being an open source software, definitely has the flexibility to customize and integrate, by which it can meet the unique needs of a growing business and a scaling business. Since it is also modular in nature, businesses can adopt the modules which they want when they are small, and as and when they grow, they can buy the other modules and keep building a larger Odoo ERP solution. So it's perfect when it comes to the design aspect. And since Odoo has both cloud and on-premise option, it gives you the flexibility as and when you scale your business. But there are serious performance issues with Odoo when there are large number of people using it. There are user complaints that the version upgrades are difficult to manage, and when you scale, there are modular interdependencies, which meaning you have certain functionalities here, and to ensure that the functionality completely works here, you'll have to buy some other modules also. So there are complications with interdependent modules. So for all these reasons, we will score Odoo at a 3, and there definitely is a long way for Odoo to go when it comes to scalability. Microsoft Dynamics is a fully cloud-based solution which offers a seamless scalability in terms of users, in terms of features and functions, and data without any huge change in the infrastructure. Because of its out-of-the-box integration with many of its products, when business scale, they find it very easy using Microsoft Dynamics 365. But having said all those things, there are definitely challenges with customizations. Customizations are very complex to execute. There has been huge complaints from the user community and companies that handling Microsoft Dynamics upgrade is a big pain, and there's always maintenance issues with upgrades. Microsoft Dynamics has a huge vendor dependence, and it is very difficult that you can have your own in-house resource to manage an application like Microsoft Dynamics. Now, these are the reasons why we will score Microsoft Dynamics at 3. So the clear-cut winner in scalability is SAP Business One. The second position goes to Infor, Microsoft Dynamics 365, and Odoo. And the last position is Tally. The next parameter which we will be considering is compliance and localization. Now, this is very key for any SME business because you cannot compromise on compliance and localization. Tally, when it comes to compliance and localization, is very focused on the GST requirements, ensuring SME businesses can manage their compliance very easily with Tally. It complies with all Indian financial and accounting standards, which includes TDS and TCS. Any regulatory updates or compliances that's launched by the government of India is first implemented by Tally. They've got a deep localization which is tailor-made for all the Indian companies, and there can be no competition for Tally as far as compliances and localizations are concerned. Now, this extensive work that is done by Tally comes from the wide user base that they have got. Millions of people who use Tally makes Tally to ensure that they comply and implement all the localization requirement of India. So there is no doubt Tally gets a score 5 when it comes to compliance and localization. Now, SAP Business One, on the other hand, definitely have done a great job like Tally. Over a period of last 20 years, they have made sure that they ensure all the compliances and all the localization requirements of India is taken care in their software, irrespective of not having a wide customer base as what Tally has got. Now, this makes sure that they are in competition with Tally when it comes to compliance and localization. In fact, out of the 40 odd localizations that SAP Business One has got, they have one dedicated localization for India alone. They are one of the first SMB softwares to have the audit trail functionalities which was prescribed by many of the Indian regulatory boards. They also ensure that any regulatory upgrades and compliances are honored and implemented in the software and launched to their users on time. So for that reason, SAP Business One also scores a 5 like what Tally has done. Now, Infor has a very limited focus on Indian localization, and because of which it lags behind SAP Business One and Tally when it comes to the localization requirement of India. Now, since there hasn't been a focus from Infor, the required changes or help is basically brought forward by the partner community, and so you will have to depend extensively on the partner whenever there is a compliance or a regulatory requirement coming into the country. When these are services that should be provided by Infor, it's being provided by the partners of Infor in India. Now, for this reason, Infor definitely scores a 1 when it comes to compliance and localization. Infor definitely has a long way to go when it comes to Indian localization and compliances. Odoo, being an open source system, when it comes to regulatory and compliance requirement, the developers and the partner network make sure that they develop it and install it. But still, the pace at which the regulatory and compliance requirements are built into the system completely depends upon the community. Now, this can be fast or slow, but when it comes to regulatory norms and compliance, you definitely cannot have a choice. it needs to be available on day one for the customers to use it. So for that reason, Odoo also scores a 1. Now, Microsoft Dynamics has definitely done some work on the localization, but not to an extent like what Tally or SAP Business One has done. Now, Microsoft Dynamics is putting all their efforts to make sure that they stay upgraded and they stay up to date on the compliance and regulatory requirements of India, but still they have some more distance to cover when it comes to compliance and regulatory norms and localization as well. So for that matter, we score them a 3. So let's look at the results when it comes to compliances and localization. We have 2 people who share the first position here, Tally as well as SAP Business One. The second position is taken by Microsoft Dynamics and the rest of them take the last position. The next parameter is a parameter which interests most of the buyers or people who are reviewing an ERP solution, which is cost. I deliberately put cost as the 5th parameter, not the first parameter, because when you are looking at an ERP, it is not a cost for you, it is an investment. And for that reason, being cheap or being less expensive doesn't mean that you're going in the right direction, and that's why I wanted to make sure that I put cost at the 5th position and not at the first position. So when it comes to cost, there's definitely no one who can beat Tally. Tally is a low-cost solution, has a great ROI. ROI is as less as anywhere between 6 to 8 months to get back the money that you have invested on Tally. And it is very cost-effective for SME business, which has shoestring budgets. Now, for all these good reasons, we score Tally at a 5. SAP Business One, on the other hand, when compared to Tally, definitely is a higher investment. So generally, you will find customers who buy SAP Business One when they grow out of Tally. So there's definitely upfront cost involved in terms of infrastructure, in terms of licenses, and in terms of implementation cost. And there is also ongoing expenses involved when you implement a solution like SAP Business One. Now, for these reasons, we score SAP Business One at a 3. Now, Infor is definitely an expensive solution for SMB business, but Infor has industry-specific solutions for certain industries, and that makes Infor a very interesting and unavoidable ERP solution, like aerospace, healthcare. Now, SMBs which can afford Infor are definitely niche SMBs which go for it. And so, Infor is one of the expensive solutions available in the SMB categories. So for that reason, we will give Infor a 1. Odoo, being an open source solution, definitely has a cost advantage, but definitely it is not as low as what Tally is. And so, we will score it at a 3. When it comes to cost, Microsoft Dynamics is definitely not a very economical solution for SMBs, but when SMBs try to grow out of Tally, they definitely look for a solution which is cloud-based and which is scalable, and Microsoft Dynamics is one such candidate, but definitely not economical and not cheap. So for that reason, we will score them at 1. The last parameter that we will be looking at is stability of the company which makes this ERP software. Tally definitely is a market leader in India, has a great and established history, and has a considerable financial stability. But when it comes to market presence, it is highly focused on India and it doesn't have a global market presence. And because of this reason, there are concerns about long-term stability and market competitiveness. Because when your boundary is very limited, you cannot go beyond a level of growth. Whereas if you are a global player, you definitely had a chance of growing exponentially. Dependency on just one single product. Now, unlike other ERP companies where they don't just have one product, they have multiple products, Tally just has one product and it's completely dependent on that product. Now, this dependency can be a big risk if there is a call for a technology change or if there's a call for a market change. So that's something that Tally should consider. Now, being a small company when compared to other ERP players, Tally may not have the same level of financial resources that other ERP solution has for growth, development, R&D, etc. Now, this definitely can affect its ability to grow in the direction of technology. And finally, acquisition risk. Being a very small company, there can be large players which can basically come in and try to buy them out for the large customer base that they operate. An acquisition would lead to changes in product strategy, pricing structures and support services, which might disrupt the existing customers. Now, for these reasons, we score Tally at a 1. SAP Business One, on the other hand, definitely comes from a large company, SAP. So they have this huge financial strength and money power to invest in technology, to invest in research and development. And that's why you will see that SAP always has a 4 or 5 year roadmap of what they are going to do with that particular software. The evolution of a particular software is well known to the customer upfront. Now, customers who basically look at an ERP as a solution which will serve them from 7 to 10 years definitely want to consider stability of the company, and that's why SAP will be considered as a stable option when compared to other ERP solutions. And so for this reason, we will score SAP Business One at a 5. Infor is also a global company, has got great financials, but they have got serious concerns when it comes to stability of the company. Number 1, Infor is a private equity ownership. Infor is owned by Koch Industries, a private equity firm. Such ownerships can lead to strategic shifts which are primarily focused on profitability over long-term innovation and stability, which potentially affects the product development and support. Now, a private equity firm will always try to make sure that they sell a company to some other company where they can make a considerable profit. Historically, Infor has been known for carrying a huge debt on their books, which definitely is a concern when it comes to their financial stability and its ability as a company to invest in its future and innovation. Infor, once again, has a history of acquisitions. For people who do not know, let me tell you that they have grown through various acquisitions. This has led to integration challenges, potential instability in their products. Now, this seriously affects customers' confidence in continuity and consistency of their solution. Now, for these reasons, Infor definitely has to be rated at a score of 1. Odoo, once again, is a strong growing company, has great financial backing, and their business model is an innovative approach because of which they are making big. But there are definitely certain concerns about Odoo. Odoo's only source of revenue is their subscription, and it heavily relies on the subscription business. So if there's any market shift, any economic downturn, then Odoo definitely has to go through a dip in revenue, and this is definitely a concern for Odoo. As compared to the larger ERP solutions, Odoo's financial resources are definitely very limited, and hence there are certain challenges when it comes to investment in future and innovations and technology. So for this reason, we will score Odoo at a 3. Microsoft Dynamics, definitely coming from the staple of Microsoft, has a great financial backing, has no shortage of funds when it comes to investment in terms of technology, innovation and future. But there are certainly concerns. Number 1, there has multiple strategy shifts when it comes to Microsoft Dynamics, which has definitely led to product development priorities, which has definitely led to changes in product development priorities, which many a times has led to degraded levels of support. One more issue noticed with Microsoft Dynamics is that there are frequent upgrades and updates, and these upgrades and updates are very difficult to manage and maintain. And last and finally, since Microsoft has a lot of products in its product portfolio, there are chances that sometimes if an ERP product doesn't perform well for them, they might cut down their expenses or they might cut down their investments on a product like ERP, and they might give those funding to some other product as compared to other ERP companies which has limited product, and that too ERP products alone, not other kind of products. So for these reasons, we will score Microsoft Dynamics at a 3. So the winner in this section is SAP Business One, and the second portion goes to Odoo and Microsoft Dynamics 365, and the last portion goes to the rest of the ERP players. Now it's time to see who is the winner. With 24 points across 6 parameters, the best and the leading solution is SAP Business One, followed by Tally, which has secured 22 points. Now there has been a very marginal difference between these two solutions, and that primarily is because of the scalability aspect of Tally and the company stability aspect of Tally, where Tally really lost an edge that they had as compared to SAP Business One. And the ERP in third place is Microsoft Dynamics with 16 points. It's a great solution, they have a great backing, it's a great company. All they need to do is some of the parameters where they are lacking behind, if they improve, they definitely will be able to compete with Tally and SAP Business One. Hope you enjoyed this ranking of the top 6 ERP for SMBs in the India region. If you are a company looking for an ERP solution, I hope this particular ranking would have helped you a lot in determining which kind of ERP solution should you go. If you have any clarifications or if you need to discuss with us, our details are available in the link below. We'll be more than happy to have a one-on-one discussion with you on finalizing your ERP solution. Thanks, and look forward to meeting you in one more video on ERP.